speaker, Brian Brett, is giving a repeat speech of his speech from last week. It is a real-life speech that he's going to give in a couple weeks. So please try to give some constructive feedback. He will try to incorporate the feedback he received last week. Please welcome Brian Brett.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Brian Brett. I currently serve as the Fire Chief for Chelan County Fire District 1. It is a great honor to be able to speak to all of you tonight and congratulate the 13 men and women who have just completed the 13-week Chelan Douglas Firefighter Recruit Academy. As with all major accomplishments, there are key individuals whose investment inspired these recruits and made this moment possible. Their time and dedication began weeks before the program started and required many hours before and after each day. Without them, the success of the Recruit Academy would not have been possible. At the top of the list are the lead instructors, Austin Flemons, Mitch Marcuson, and Cody Shelton, all of whom organized, instructed, and led the 1901 Recruit Academy. Additionally, the depth of training provided by the adjunct instructors, Seth Ellis and Herb King, added immeasurable value to the training received by our recruits. Lastly, this wouldn't all come together without the tedious dedication and logistics provided by our Assistant Chief, John Glenn, and Training Captain, Al Torres. Thank you all. Thank you for building these future servants in our community. Thank you all again for your professionalism, commitment, and compassion for this Recruit Academy. And of course, to all those who are here to recognize these graduates, family, friends, loved ones, and members of our community, thank you. Selfish ambition alone cannot fuel a person for 13 weeks of intense physical and mental training. Lasting motivation comes from the love and support you all provide. For every person on this stage, there are numerous people who taught them discipline and dedication. We merely honed and applied it to the skills needed to be successful firefighters. They were already great before they showed up, and thank you for that. 350 hours, 21 ISTA chapters, 480 minutes of exams, and an immeasurable number of pounds lifted, carried, and dragged have brought us to this moment. Perhaps the only low number of hours is the sleep you all had these last 13 weeks. I have to ask, was it easier than you expected? If you answered yes, let me remind you, you haven't received your certificates yet. There's still time for more PT. Or a surprise hazardous materials operations exam. Suffice it to say, the past 3 months haven't been a walk in the park. There may have been moments you wanted to give up. You weren't sure if you were going to make it to tonight and cross this finish line. For those of you who have not been through a Recruit Academy, let me be the first to say, you have heard every moan about how hard this program is. Perhaps it was the morning they woke up before dawn after what felt like a 5-minute nap. Maybe it was in the evening as they sat studying while their entire body ached from the day's drills. Or possibly they complained about how Instructor Flemons was too nice and didn't yell at them enough. I'm sure the last one was the most common. Graduates, during these past 3 months, you spent a lot of time learning about the skills and knowledge needed to be a firefighter. From basic pump operation to hazardous materials. You've undoubtedly discovered new muscles in your body that only ache after strenuous hose drills. You might have thought during your training that we were heaping extra everything onto you to mess with you. Let me assure you, you are correct. But there is also a greater purpose. Honing these tactile firefighter skills Developing control over muscles in your body will allow you to be more observant in physically and mentally strenuous situations. Solidifying the foundational knowledge base will allow you to exercise your analytical ability rather than being paralyzed in recall mode. As they say, any firefighter knows how, and a good firefighter knows why. However, your most critical lesson has been taught more indirectly. All of us have our own strengths and weaknesses, and even if you're the most gifted human in the country, I challenge you to complete an oriented man search alone. You might be able to throw a ground ladder by yourself, but it sure is a heck of a lot easier with another hand. You might be able to advance a hose line by yourself, but it's much more effective and efficient with a healed person undoing the kinks and maneuvering the hose around the corners. As firefighters, we recognize we cannot succeed alone. Next to you are your fellow recruits who struggled with you and who have the same passion and enthusiasm as you, with the same desire to help others and who you have relied on these past 13 weeks as they did in you. Passion, enthusiasm, and teamwork. All of you will go on your individual paths. This is but one step along your journey. After the full resident program, some of you will join our team at Chelan County Fire District 1, others at Chelan County Fire District 7, and more at Douglas County Fire District 2. Others may continue elsewhere, and whichever department you join, they are lucky to have you. Some of you may even take a different route, beginning a different fulfilling career. Wherever you end up, remember you cannot do it alone. Any meaningful success is littered with insurmountable obstacles and challenges, with many fires along the way, literal and metaphorical. As you know, putting out fires is not a one-person job. It requires the collaboration of others. Relying on others is not a sign of weakness. Instead, it is the greatest source of strength. To the 1901 class, I believe I speak for everyone here, we are all immensely proud of what you have accomplished and look forward to see what comes next. I have only a few more words of advice. First, every day bring a positive attitude and your best effort. Second, learn one thing new and make one thing better each day. If you follow this advice, you will never stop progressing. We look forward to hearing of your future accomplishments. We know you'll exceed our expectations. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating the Chelan Douglas Fire Recruit Class of 1901.